5 music video effects. The light leak. The footage that I'm using is free from Pixels. There's a link in the description down below. Once you get it imported, you're ready to go. Take your clip. You actually want to adjust it down to the one particular part of the clip that you want to use. I'm going to go here with pretty much like the brightest flash. I'm going to place it over my clips. Make sure you cut off the magnet tool so that way you can actually place the clip exactly where you want. Otherwise, it automatically like snap to the next frame. You're going to go into effects. You're going to look for Vmic here. Grab the effect and place it over your light leak footage. You go into the overlay and you're going to try to change it to open effects overlay. You're going to click on the effects and actually going to adjust the clip to find the darkest part of the clip. Grab the ink dropper and click on it. And what this is going to do is going to eliminate the black of the background where you just get literally just the light leak footage. Now you can mess around with different settings, or you can leave the black background if you want and just use the footage as is. It all depends on how you want it and what look you're going for. It allows you to go through different adjustments too to get a final composition, to check out the alpha points and everything else. But here I'm going to crank up the blur radius to give you more of a softer edge. I'm going to replace the clip, and there it is. The bass hit. This is a super simple effect. You go into your music clip, you actually want to go and place markers everywhere where there's a bass hit in your song. To place a marker, you simply press M on your timeline with that particular track highlighted. Then you're gonna go into your, actually backtrack, gonna go into effects and you'll get the adjustment clip. Make sure you cut the magnetic tool off and adjust your clip, adjust your adjustment clip over your markers. Once you got it placed, you can go into your open effects and you're gonna go search for directional blur. Pull it and drop it on your adjustment clip. Go into your effects and cut the blur strength all the way up. You can change the blur angle to however you want. It really doesn't matter. But I suggest cutting the strength all the way up because the effect lasts for a split second. It's actually the effect I use in the intro on the title screen. Once you got it all set, you want to hold Alt and then drag that adjustment clip to make a copy of it. And just repeat that over until you hit all the markers. Play it back, you got a bass hit. Now, quick tip, if you go into the Inspector tab and go to File, you can actually name this clip or any other adjustment clips or effects that you make in the future. Hit enter and you'll see it actually change on the timeline. Grab that and then place it in your power bin. Click on the master. Once you place in your power bin, anytime you bring up Davinci Resolve, that effect will be there. Light flash. Once again, we're starting off with an adjustment clip. You're gonna place your clip on the timeline, trim it to how much you need. Go into your color tab. Make sure your adjustment clip is the one that's highlighted, and go into effects, and you're gonna look for halation. Grab your effect and then place it on your node. Now the settings that I'm adjusting, they're not definitive. You can change it however you want to. And basically the idea is to get a bright flash. So I adjusted the strength, the gammas, saturation, and spread. Go into secondary glow. You can crank it up as well with the strength and the gamma. Like I said, they're not definitive settings. You can just change it to whatever look you're going for. So you adjust your threshold, and you also can change the color as well. And I'm just kind of going through and show you what the different colors look like. But for my effect, I'm going to leave it as white. Then I'm going to make sure I'm in the first frame of the adjustment clip. You're going to go down to global blend. And this is where the effect actually happens at. In your first frame, hit the keyframe button and leave it at 1. Hit the right directional arrow key. Go to your second frame, you're gonna drop it down to 0. Then your third frame, bring it back up to 1. And then your fourth frame, down to 0. So basically go back and forward. 0 to 100. Oh, go back to my adjustment clip. And that's pretty much the whole effect. Now you're gonna go into your power windows and grab your mask tool. And you're gonna draw your mask over the clip. You can draw whatever mask you want to. I'm just going kind of like a zigzag pattern. And then go through and you kind of adjust and tweak the mask to whatever settings you're looking for or whatever image that you're going for. And remember to hit the like button if you're enjoying today's video. Then go into the softness. You're gonna actually soften the crap out of the mask. I stopped at about 7.9, go to about 8, 9, 10, however you want to go. But that's why I stopped it for this particular video, or this particular effect. And again, you can also name this clip and then save it in your power bin for future use. Make sure your adjustments placed right. Flash. Quick flip. Once again, adjustment clip. You're gonna go into your open effects. You're gonna look for a transform. Grab the effect and place it on your adjustment clip. Go to open effects. And you have different axes you can actually manipulate. For this particular one, we're actually gonna manipulate the Y axis. So in the first frame of the adjustment clip, hit the, well, no, it's X. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Y axis, go up and down. So we're gonna readjust it. Hit the keyframe. Once your keyframe is placed, you're gonna go to your middle of your clip pretty much. Well, at least the end of your first clip. You're gonna change the position. Now, just scrolling through the wheel, it won't go all the way up. So you either have to hover over the numbers and scroll that way, or you can highlight the numbers and simply type in 1.00. And that'll make sure that your first clip is completely removed from the frame. You're gonna place another keyframe, slide over to your second clip. Well, you know, hover over the part that's your second clip of the adjustment clip. Make sure you still remain at 1.0. Therefore, the string remains black. Go to the last part of the frame and drop it back down to the center. You should have in all 4 keyframes. That's if you decide to go up and down like this. Now go down to, where you go? Out there, motion blur. And you're gonna crank the motion blur up, and they'll give you the quick flip effect. Play it back. Try to do it on the beat. The glow mask.
Are you ready?
For this effect, we're going into Fusion. And no, not that one. For this effect, I recommend download the link in the description down below. Download Proto from Patrick Sterling. It's a preset that he created. It kind of mimics the saber effect from Premiere Pro. After you get that downloaded and installed, you're going to jump into Fusion. Well, first you're actually going to copy your second clip just by holding Alt and then moving the clip up to the next track. And going to the first frame, you're actually going to hit the snowflake icon on the speed change and the inspector tool. Right click, go to New Fusion Clip. You can right click and open the Fusion, or just go into the Fusion tab. Once in the Fusion tab, you're going to hit the polygon node, hit invert. I'm going to widen this out and get rid of some of this clutter. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and then we're gonna begin to mask out your subject. Once your subject is completely masked out, hit the invert button again. And then we're gonna go to the background node. Yeah, click on background node. If it goes black, you did something right. We're gonna drop down to alpha. Make sure the background node is highlighted. You're gonna click the paint node in the toolbar. And just as that, then you're gonna hit Control spacebar, type in Proto Custom. Hit add, accidentally highlight the MIDI out node, so we're gonna move it over under paint, hold the shift and place it in, move it around, make sure it's connected. Now go to the paint node, you're gonna click polyline stroke and click 2 points just to make sure it's working. Under stroke controls, you hit the arrow down or right click to animate, go to connect, polyline, poly, and that's gonna outline your poly subject that you maxed out earlier with the Proto effect. Now go and highlight your Proto node. On the Proto node, you'll see there's different versions. We're gonna go with version 2. Version 2 got like this little heat distortion comes off of it. You can actually animate it a little bit more with the C rate and the wind speed and the wind duration, and it kind of animates the little flames around them. And this effect is a little more tougher on your PC, so make sure you use it accordingly. Then we're gonna go back into the toolbar. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, make sure your merge node is highlighted. Go back into your select tools. You're gonna look for the transform node. With the transform node highlighted, we're gonna go to the inspector. Where it says center, gonna right click, and then gonna modify with shake. That's gonna give you access to the modifiers. Go up top, modifiers, you're gonna crank up the random seed. Actually, I think I forgot something. Yeah, I did forget a step. As you can see, the random seed makes it kind of jump around, and the smoothest makes it jump around a little bit. But the step I forgot is actually to change the frame duration. So we're actually gonna go back into the edit tab. We're gonna right click. You're gonna change clip duration, or you hit Control D, go into frames, and it's gonna make it 12 frames long. Just type in the number 12 and hit change. Go back into Fusion, and it'll play for those 12 frames. It's in a transition effect. You don't need it to play throughout the whole clip. Now, unlocking the X and Y axis is not necessary. You can if you want to. You want to change up the way the seed effect works, or the shake effect rather. Now back in the edit tab, you're gonna actually take that clip and move it over your first clip. You'll see your subject from the second clip bouncing around the first clip. That's the beginning of your transition. Now back in the Fusion, as you can go under templates, up to effects, under templates. You're gonna scroll down till you find, or you can just type in digital glitch. You can crank up the C or crank up the glitch effect. You can change this however you want. Again, it's up to your liking. Yeah, once you got it set to how you want to go into the last frame, cut and copy that last frame. Then move the, there you go. Yeah, we're gonna highlight the last frame. I'm gonna stretch it out just a little bit. Go back into the edit tab, and then you're gonna delete the glitch and the transformation or transform node. Go back into your toolbar, and you're gonna get a new transform node. If it's not connected, hold shift and then place it on your timeline. Go into your first frame, and then you're gonna hit the keyframe for the center axis. And since it's rendering some other stuff in the background, it's kind of choppy right now, but from there, based on their first frame, you want to move your subject completely off the frame. Go into your last frame, or frame 11. You hold control, you can scroll the mouse wheel and zoom out, and you're going to move your subject back to center frame. Like I say, it's rendering in the background, so it's a little choppy, but we're actually going to smooth it out with using the spline node, or the spline editor, I'm sorry. Go up to your spline editor, scroll down till you see transform. You hit F4, and it'll actually stretch out this spline editor to full frame. And then we're going to hit Control F, and it's going to bring the spline editor to fit the frame. Then we hit Control A to highlight all frames, and hit S to smooth. And then you're gonna grab your animation node on the curve and you're gonna stretch it out as you see here. From there, you can close the spline editor, go back, play it back. It's still choppy right now for me, but once it's played, once it's rendered, you'll get a better animation. So right now it's rendering, place your playhead behind your top clip, and then you want to cut the bottom clip. You're going to get a camera shake. Place the camera shake. It's going to give you a little bit of a little pop when the animation plays out. You got to get the little shake at the end, and that's the full effect. Five music video effects, real quick, real simple, real easy, right here in Davinci Resolve. Links to everything is in the description down below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.